Hello, hello.
Hello!
Glad to see people ready and waiting. Always a plus.
Priscilla! Hello.
My faves. So today we are doing the murder mystery game. I was going to call it a party, and then I called it a game, and then I called it a party and a game, and now I've just confused myself. So we're going to solve some murders, essentially. Need not be more complicated than that, I don't think.
No more complicated than solving a murder.
I've heard it's super easy to do.
It's famously easy. What's a pathologist? What's
Yeah.
criminology?
I don't know. What are those things? Do you want to explain those things?
Nowhere.
I don't know. So unfortunately, Tish is not able to make it today. She's not feeling very well, and I've told her that her health is more important than a live stream, because it is. So it is just going to be Sean and I today, which means that Sean will automatically win because all she's got to do is work it out.
Well, let's not put too much pressure on me to even manage that. So.
Yeah, that's okay. Fair enough. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open up the slides in a second, because I've done a whole presentation for it, so that you've got all the clues and everything in front of you. But you should also have a grid that you can tick off so that you know what you're doing, and I'll explain the rules when we get to the slides. Because like I said, I've got a slide for everything. I'm like fully prepared.
We have slides on slides
Mhm.
on slides. She showed me her her sheet with like preparation on it, and I was like, I can't even print screen that for clues because there's too much.
Here's the murder. Here's the murder that I planned, and here's my backup murder in case we have more time.
In case it takes me an astronomically short amount of time to solve this murder.
I wouldn't be surprised. I genuinely wouldn't. Like, my fear is that with anything that I write, I know what happened, so I just assume it's going to be really easy for you to work out. That's not always
That
the
only
case.
happened one time.
Once is all it takes for my self-esteem to be like, well, that's every time then, isn't it? So
I suppose.
yeah. I don't know if you've noticed, Sean, though, I am playing alongside your best friend. I've got your little pal there.
Oh, why is Lime Phillip here?
Because he always hangs out right next to my bed where he can keep me safe.
Safe from his cohort. In case none of you knew, Hannah is like a born again Satanist, and she loves Satan. It's in every TikTok she sends me, every YouTube video. I noticed and sent her a video that she kept moving Lime Phillip around. And then for my birthday, she sent me a satanic duck. So I appreciate that I look pretty witchy right now, but this is not my usual get up. Like normally I look like a nice lady, but
So there is backstory to this. So we like to sit on the phone to each other and read together, which is lovely. And Sean made a really good point, that is that in a lot of Netflix shows at the moment, especially Netflix shows targeted for teens, Satan or Lucifer is just in all of them. He's everywhere. And it's now become this conspiracy theory between the two of us that he's trying to find her and I'm trying to help. And then we've got this ram's head. It's not even like a Satan thing. So this was a housewarming present from my brother, because it's like a Georgian bust.
Got it for you.
No, it was Will. Will got it for me because he knows I like the weird. But it's like a green velvet, so it feels really nice. My cat has broken it. One of the horns has snapped off because the cat pushed it off.
Which cat was it?
Mozart.
Mozart's got Jesus in him. We're on Mozart's side. Hashtag Team Mozart.
Yeah. But since that conversation, every opportunity I can find to just share random Satan gifts with you and things like that, TikToks, rubber ducks, I'm doing his work.
Yeah, you are, but I'm wise to it. So,
So we are I'm going to share my screen, and then
see, Priscilla's on my side. Is this the answer?
No, it's not the answers. So I've kind of cheated because now I can't see anything. So I've got it on my phone so that I can see what everyone else can see.
Uh-huh.
So that I don't accidentally put anything in front of the camera that you know.
I've had to make this bigger so that I can look at it properly. So if I'm being ignorant, chat, it's not on purpose. It's because, unfortunately, I have one screen and it's taken up by the game.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, the thing is, I've tried to make everything nice and big for the screen. So let's see if I can actually click through my own slideshow now. There we go.
Whoa.
Excuse me. So the rules are pretty simple. You have a grid of 10 by 10 squares, and Kieran has very kindly made me some grids that are going to go up on the screen for you so that you can see and you can kind of tick them up as you go.
Right.
And there are 25 possibilities to hit a clue. So in the same way that you would play Battleships and you would land on a ship and try and hit or miss a ship, it's the same for this. Okay. Now, originally, there was going to be 2 of you. So you were going to take it in turns to pick a square. But obviously, it's just going to be you now. It's going to be you against yourself.
Oh, God. Just like every day.
So basically, if you land on a clue, you can either request a clue for a specific suspect, or I can just give you one at random. And there are only 5 clues per suspect. So the idea is that it should build up a nice big story. If you think it's one person in particular, you can really just get all of their clues out of the way, things like that. But you can make a prediction as to who you think it is at any point. So you don't have to wait for all 25 clues. If you're like, no, I know who did it and why, go for it. I can't wait.
Oh, God.
You also have the opportunity. Go on.
I don't know how inventive you've been. I don't know if it's going to be things like it was Lime Phillip with the broken horn in the bedroom.
No, so I've tried to make it as simple as possible. So it's more of the story-based bit. So you'll know who died and how. You've just got to work out the who and the why.
Okay, Roger. If only I'd read the slides.
Yeah, if only. You'll also have 3 opportunities for yes/no questions. So you can ask me a yes or no question to kind of narrow it down. And that can be absolutely anything, but you only get 3. So once you've used your 3, that's it. So you have to use them carefully. And then, the winner will be you, so long as you get it right.
Okay.
That's literally the bare minimum you've got to do there. So let's talk about murder number 1.
Whoa.
So Professor Langdon has been an Oxford professor for 13 years. His specialism is the appropriation of Greek and Latin mythology in Christianity, and he was generally well liked by staff and students. However, shortly before a study session, he was found in his sitting room, murdered. He was hit over the head with a marble bust replica of the Veiled Woman, and the police believe it was a crime of passion. The 5 suspects are Alice and James Montgomery, 2nd and 3rd year students, Clive Woodward, who is his assistant, Grace Langdon, who is his wife, and George Hart, who is an ex-student. So I'm now going to introduce you to those characters. Is there anything you want to ask whilst we're here?
No, I feel like I've got that.
Okay, cool. So Alice is the older of the Montgomery siblings and an extremely hard worker. She was one of Professor Langdon's favourite students and has aspirations of writing a book about modern mythology misconceptions beyond the use of Christianity. James is her younger brother and is nothing like his sister. He had little interest in studying at university, let alone Oxford, and regardless of the pressures his family have put on him in the past, he shies away from work as often as he can. He spends his time drinking and daydreaming about the bar he wants to open up in the Caribbean the first chance he gets.
Okay. Is that Keira Knightley in that bottom picture?
No. These are adverts from a company that sells these shoes.
Oh, well done. The Keira Knightley look-alike shoe company.
Yeah, well done. Clive, I'd be really surprised if you don't recognise who Clive is. Clive is a shy, well-spoken gentleman, rarely seen outside of his office or the library. He's been Professor Langdon's assistant for 5 years, although he's applied to several other universities for higher-ranking positions and never made it past the interview stage. He lives alone with his cat, who he hasn't named because he can't decide which deity deserves the honour of being the namesake of his precious baby.
Okay.
I literally included that last... Yeah.
Okay.
I literally included that last fact because I wanted to include that little photo of him with a cat on his shoulder, which is the most adorable thing I've ever seen in my life.
It was the heavy lids in that picture that gave it away. Like, I feel like if I just saw the top one, I'd be like, I'm not sure who that is, but he's got his like alcoholic eyes on already.
Brutal. Funny though. Okay. Grace Langdon spends most of her time in London with her friends, specifically male friends, specifically in hotels. No one knows very much about Grace from before she was married, or why she remained married to a man she obviously doesn't love. George is Professor Langdon's greatest regret, a bright boy who got caught up in a drug scandal and was unceremoniously dismissed from Oxford. It was Professor Langdon who discovered George was selling and insisted George was removed from the college. George struggled to get clean and had to return to his parents' home and a job waiting tables.
Oh no.
So I've really like gone into like the dark academia Oxford style of this. I hope you appreciate.
I do. I also like that the most likely suspects share the same page. It's like we've gone from probably had nothing to do with it to, oh, okay, you're a killer.
Working our way up. I see.
Working our way up.
So as you can see, we've got this grid which has got the photo of the sitting room that Kieran designed for me, but it also has the numbers and the letters along the side so that you can choose which square you want to pick first, and then I will tell you if you land on a clue or not.
Ooh, how exciting. So I'm gonna minimize this a second. Hopefully it doesn't close the whole, like, no, we're still in it. Killer kitten is a good idea. I like the kitten as a suspect immediately. The name of the cat. I think maybe we should just go for the cat right away. He's angry.
You think it's the cat?
Out on the professor. We're going to try and massage this theory together. So first hit, let's go for E6.
E6 is a miss.
Oh, I'm just going to hop into Paint quickly and mark that for myself. If it lets me. I can't. There we go. I wish you could see my screen right now because it's just like the most unhappy little cross.
Oh,
that was a miss. Okay. Somebody in the chat pick a square. Someone get a hit for me.
You're gonna have to tell me because I can't see the chat, so you're gonna have to let me know.
I will when somebody jumps in and gives me a square. Nobody wants to do it. Which means I'll just.
We've got H3. Okay, I've just got it on my phone. So you've got a whole slew of them: H3, H8, or A1.
Whoa, A1 because the band. There we go.
A1 is a miss.
A1. I'm disappointed. All right, let's go for. So, all right, let me mark it on my. Do I get a limited amount of these?
Yeah, you just go and you just keep going. Originally, it was going to be that you would take it in turns, so you'd have a go, then someone else would have a go. But fundamentally, it's just you. So you just keep going until you hit something.
All right, team, we're in this together. It's me in the chat to find the kitten killer. All right, let's go for.
I'm telling you now, the kitten didn't do it.
Oh, okay. Spoiler alert.
H3 is a hit. So, which suspect would you like a clue on first?
All right, who shall we have? Well, I feel like since H3 was the winner, maybe we'll make it a bit interactive, and Patricia can pick who she thinks it might be, and then I can cock it up asking the questions. A1. So who are our options again? We've got Mrs. Langdon.
Yeah, we've got Grace Langdon, George Hart, who's the ex-student, Clive Woodward, who's the assistant, and then Alice and James Montgomery, who are his students.
What's that film from like the 90s with the like semi-incestuous Cruel Intentions?
Oh yeah. All right. No, they're not those kind of stuff.
Patricia thinks it's the wife, so we're gonna.
You want to start with the first clue of the wife? Okay.
Grace, yes.
Grace and her husband have no children, no mutual interest, and sleep in separate rooms. Grace claims it had been like this for years, and it isn't a problem.
That, in fairness, that's like that does it for some people, doesn't it? Like I remember vividly a friend telling me that sleeping in separate rooms was fine while he was arguing with his missus. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go
So
on,
I don't personally think that there's anything sinister about that. So what's my next thing that I do? Like, what happens next in the game?
Well, you can either make a guess as to who you think it is, or you can go for some more clues.
If I ask a yes or no question,
You get 3 of those. So
is it a truthful answer?
yeah, I'll tell you the truth.
All right, shall we just find this out right now? Can I dial in Grace Langdon, please? Can you put her on the blower?
I can, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do a voice for it though. You can just ask a question.
She's taking forever. Grace.
I told you I'm not doing a voice.
All right. Grace, did you kill your husband?
No.
All right, there we go. We've ruled her out. Got the most obvious one out of the way. Wasn't Gracie.
Okay, but you've just used one of your yes/no questions, so you only have 2 more left.
I don't feel precious about him. I feel like we're going to get there together eventually.
Fair enough. Okay, which clue would you like next? What square are you going to go for next?
Let's go for La Loma, and we'll go for F7.
F7 is a miss.
No. Excuse me while I mark it on my thingy. Well, we know. So, okay. So, you know how we've got like hits and it's like battleships?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like a line? So, if I went from the one that I hit now, could I hit another one? Or is it just random squares?
You could because of where it is, but there are only 2 that are directly next to each other.
Okay, so it's not like there's a warship and a frigate and...
No. I was going to do it like that, but then that felt a bit weird because this isn't actually Battleships. And also, they have 44 squares of the 100 that are covered in Battleships because of the amount of things. And I was like, that's too many clues to write.
That is too many. Okay, who have we got next? Let's go for H8. Oh no. Have I frozen? Has Hannah frozen? Has it all gone wrong? Is it just me? Well, if it is, then I hope she comes back because then we will find out. If it's not me, I'm just talking to myself. Just looking at the chat like, oh no, she's gone! Alright, so tell me your secrets, guys. What do you got plans for Halloween? I knew something like this would happen when she just like left me by myself. This is my channel now. So I hope she comes back. I got this pumpkin today from work. He was £3. Oh no! Hannah has no internet. What happens now? I don't know what to do. That was just me. Thank you for admiring my pumpkin, Jet. I appreciate you as always. I don't even have like a spooky book on hand to like read you something until Hannah's internet comes back up. I'm the stream queen. Maybe I could just call Hannah and put her on speakerphone and I don't know what to do now. This is awkward. I can practice being a YouTuber. So things that I like. I like to read. I play video games. I like my cat. He's a good guy. He's around somewhere. He's black, so he would fit in with the gothy stream that we're going for. We will never find out if La Loma was a hit or not. The suspense forever. I wish at this point that I like could play a musical instrument or something and then I could just be more entertaining, but actually I've only got what's around me, which is alcohol, Brivita biscuits and a makeup mirror, which can sum up my whole life. So So, okay, if we're going to cheat while Hannah's not here, we know that the murderer isn't Gracie. And I think my cat's called Corvo. Like, we're just sidetracking a bit so that I can be a proud mother, which probably answers the other question about what games I like to play. I like playing, I like Dishonored very much. I like Disco Elysium. Hannah was the murderer and the victim was her internet. I love that as a theory. Like, or it was Lime Philip all along, and he knows that I'm onto him. I've got a message. It's probably from Hannah. So let me just like look. I'm sorry for being antisocial. She said that she loves me for still going, which I don't know if that's a I love you for still going, you fame seeker, or if it's a like thanks for holding it together while I get my internet sorted. If I know anything about Hannah, it's that she likes to put like obvious things in unlikely places. So probably when we get the clues for the siblings, what I reckon will happen, like as a complete guess, is that the the sister tried to get like some grades from the professor man, and he was like, you will never be a psychologist, you are a fraud, and I frankly you make me sick. And she will be like and she will go and talk to her brother who doesn't care about uni about it, and he will be like, I will avenge you, sister, for this academic slight. And then he like goes to the office to like shout at him, and he's like, your sister's a dumb and she's the biggest dumb I've ever met in my life. And then he like grabs the veiled lady and just smashes him over the head with it. Or maybe it's not even that sinister, and like somebody went into the office to like thank you, Hannah. Somebody went into the office to like admire his work and ask him to do them a favor, and they were like, oh, what's this statue of? And the guy was like, no, it's full of magnets and I have a metal plate in my head, and if you pick it up it's gonna, and then it just like shot from their hands and knocked them out. That's theory number 2. Not really sure what to go. I am sort of feeling the siblings because I feel like they're the least likely. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no reason just yet. I feel like it would be a bit obvious for the passed over assistant to do it. You know what I mean? Like, he goes home to his nameless cat, which frankly I find offensive. Like, if you're going to live with somebody, you might as well give them a name, even if it's like dickhead. Like, oh no, I've sworn on her stream. I don't know what happens now. There's no reason just yet. Yay!
I tell you what, I was watching you on the live stream, and I was like, you absolute fucking hero. You are just running with it. I've never loved you more than in this moment. It's been like, I have no idea what happened. It was so weird. It was like a firework, that kind of bang, and then my internet just went, nope. It went on my phone, it went on my computer, it went on my desktop, like it just died. And I was like, Kieran, what's up with the internet? And he was like, nothing. And I was like, why are all my things fritzing then? He's like, I didn't even hear anything. I'm like, right, was that in my head? Did I just imagine that happened? So, thank you for holding this. Absolutely.
Thank everybody in the chat for talking to me and making me feel less alone and like getting in on the theories.
No, yeah, absolutely nailed it. If anything, you've absolutely proven my point that I've been making to you for ages, which is you need a YouTube channel.
I don't know. I feel like I like things sometimes. Most of the times I dislike things, but
yeah. That's fine. I think it would be I would happily watch you just rant about stuff you don't like.
Well, if that was any indication, it's going to go horribly.
No, you're an absolute hero. Thank you for that.
No, thank you for coming back.
I was desperately trying. I was like, I'm just gonna keep pushing until we. There we go.
Okay.
Oh, well, that was terrifying.
I like the theory that the twins took out your internet because we've gotten too close to the truth. I think we're all like sort of on the same page, except for it possibly being the cat and it possibly being the butler. The twins are somehow involved in this. So I think when we get our next hit, we're gonna get some twinsy clues.
Yeah, so, I think we should go. Do you know what's really funny? I sat here looking because I don't know what I've done with my clues. I've put them down somewhere in my franticness to try and get the internet back. This is absolute chaos.
The most awkward thing for me was trying to work out whether I was the one who died or whether it was you. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep talking until something happens. And then all of a sudden your screen was gone. And I was like, it's me. I'm alone in the abyss of the internet. Let me try and find what we said before the power outage. F7.
I'm back.
Oh,
Okay.
we got Mozart. Look at him.
Yep.
He's eyeing up Line Philip. He
I was
wants to
like,
destroy.
I was like, maybe if I bring him along, people won't notice that I disappeared.
No, they noticed.
Do you know what's really funny? Is this is the second live now that I've just like snuck away for some reason. Because
At
in
least,
the
like,
yeah,
that one
in the
was
scavenger
planned,
hunt, it was on
though, wasn't
purpose.
it? You said that you were going to be going at 7:30, and then you left, and that was like, okay, Sean, trial by fire.
Yeah, no, I appreciate. Oh, you're an absolute hero, absolute hero. In fact, would you like me to just give you a free clue for dealing with all of that on your own?
Oh, we can have a clue about the twins. Okay, let's get one. Let's
Okay.
get one for free as a reward for everybody for being so supportive and like getting me through that endless 3 minutes.
Longest 3 minutes of your life. Would you like a clue about Alice or a clue about James?
James, he's our
Okay.
key suspect right now, I think.
Okay. James, although not having a proper job, has £2,000
A proper
deposited. A proper job deposited into his bank every week. He's also paid for a one-way ticket to Guadeloupe.
A tricket.
There you go. We'll say that that was the J1 clue. We'll tick off
He's
J1.
Langdon's lover? And like the reason, okay, guys,
Okay, go on.
like, what if Gracie was a beard to Langdon because he's a gay in a very high class setting in academia, and he's like, I can't let Oxford know I'm a gay, so he like represses it forever because he's an old man, and even though his job is to like fix people's brains, he's like straight up like not fixing his heart though. So he's like taken this student for his lover, and he gives him £2,000 a month, and he is like going to run away to Guadalupe with him, and then the professor is like, no, James, we can't do this. I've changed my mind. I'm going to come out to the world and the university. And he's like, you old asshole, and then he just like kills him.
I mean, that was 10 out of 10 storytelling. You're completely wrong, but that was a great little narrative you put in there.
Are we wrong in the sense that I'm right, or are we wrong? Wrong.
Grace is not a beard. Professor Langdon was not gay, and James is not his lover.
Back. I thought we were really. I thought we had it.
You thought you had it on 2 clues out of 25. Yeah.
Why not? We got it. We got to dance the dance.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Story. It was emotional. Some people would do anything for 2K a month, even murder. Is it 2K a month? 2K a week?
2K a week.
Fuck me. I want the job that he's got. Like, I think I get like £150 a week. I'm broke. Like, the tax man takes all my money.
All
right. Okay. So we want a hit, and we were still waiting to hear about F7, I think.
Oh, F7. Okay. No, F7 was a miss. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I gave you J1.
Oh, okay. Okie dokie. Let me mark him on my sheet. I wish I had a printer. This would make things much easier for me. All right, so we've got J1. And we know that there's something else around H. So spam some more things that I can hit while I scroll up and see what we missed before. I5.
I5 is a hit.
Oh, nice job.
So, who would you like a clue on this time?
Oh, I don't know. All right, let's try James again. I'm not quite
James
gonna give
again?
up. Yeah.
When James was 15, he was arrested for possession. He was never formally charged, but he's been the black sheep of the family ever since.
Like demonic possession?
No. As in just like drugs possession. Like demonic. You kill me.
Okay. No, Langdon was killed. All right, let's go for B5.
B5. Sorry, I got distracted then because apparently the reason the internet went is because the fuse went. But I thought Kieran had said that my dad tripped over and that's why the internet went, and I got really confused.
Oh no.
But no, it was a fuse blowing. Okay, so B5, did you say? Miss.
A miss. Ooh, I already changed my pen preemptively to blank on the screen because I was like, I don't know about this one. J10.
J10 is a miss.
Oh no. It's like a puzzle. We're trying to knock out the corners. All right, we'll go for A10 and then we've got all of them.
A10 is a hit.
Yeah, we did it.
What was that noise? Yeah.
I laughed so much that I tried to draw my like cross and it just went like
Who would you like a clue about this time?
Do the clues get like progressively more like, do you know what I mean? Do they reveal more as they go along, or is it just generic clues?
No, the whole point is that the more clues you have, the more it makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Let's go for bro again then.
You want the brother again? Okay.
Yeah.
James has no alibi for the time of the murder. He should have been at lectures, but the CCTV proves he wasn't there.
All right, guys, we're doing an investigation. Okay, D3 is our next one.
D3 is a hit.
Oh my god. Everybody's so much better at this than me.
But it's just a guessing game at this point, isn't it? Who would you like a clue on this time? Still James? You've got 2 more for James, and then that's it. Or do you want to try someone else in the meantime?
Let's
complete
the James track.
Okay. James was seen having an argument with Professor, what did I call him? Langdon. I was going to call him Ladbroke then. I was like, that's not the name I went for. James was seen having an argument with Professor Langdon the day before he died. James claims this was over a misunderstanding about late assignments, and that Professor Langdon took it more personally than he did.
Is it because they're having a love affair?
No. No, they're not.
All right, Priscilla feels like we're on the wrong path with James, but we've got one more clue, which I think we should get, and just so we've completed one. And then if the rest of this turns into like a hapless mess of misses, then at least we got through one person's clue bank.
Yeah.
So it was over a misunderstanding.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to read it again?
Yeah.
James was seen having an argument with Professor Langdon the day before he died. James claims this was over a misunderstanding about late assignments, and that Professor Langdon took it far more personally than he did.
Oh, okay. I still feel like they're lovers. Like Jet's right to say that, like, I want this to be another genre. Like, I've already invented the story. Okay, right. Give me some more squares. I'll pick one and it will be a myth. But we've got nothing in rows G or C, so I'm gonna go for C8.
Miss. Of course. It's really funny because like you're like, oh, it'll be a miss, and then I'm looking at like how close you are to hitting other things.
So I know you were worried that this wouldn't take 2 hours, but I think that fear was unfounded.
Okay, but admittedly, we gained an additional 10 minutes whilst I had no internet and had to recover.
That's true. That is true.
So, yeah, we're doing all right.
We are doing all right. I don't know. Right, C8.
C8.
Oh, no,
You've already done.
Me and Priscilla, we had the same feelings. Let's go for C4. That seems like a unanimous
It's a hit.
one. That was going to be my first guess, and then I changed my mind to 8. Oh my goodness! Look at this. We're all ESPNing. That's what's happening. Paneling the hit. All right. Can we please have our fifth and final clue for Jamez?
You can. Professor Langdon had reported James of cheating after he submitted work written by his sister. James claims that this is untrue and that he would never submit any work that wasn't his own.
I don't know. I don't feel like it's as cut and dry as he was just like, you called me a cheater, you old man. Time to die.
Time to die.
I think we've done J1, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's all your James clues.
I don't think it's him. I don't think it's Jamez. Maybe Poss the sister if she's giving her brother free work. So let's find out together. Like, let's try.
You sounded like one of the Gallagher brothers then.
G9.
G9.
Yeah.
Is a miss.
Right, somebody's gonna come up with it now and be like, it's G2, and that will be like the right answer. Okay, J2.
G2 is also a miss.
Oh, right, okay, there we go. G2's out. What about J2?
J2 is also a miss.
Okay. It's like a really awful game of noughts and crosses that I'm just playing by myself and don't know any of the rules. Okay.
This is what I mean. This is why I was hoping there'd be two of you, so you could, like, bounce off each other. Also, think how less terrifying it would have been when I disappeared.
Oh yeah. Like that would have been great. But oh well. All right. So we have
Never mind.
B5.
B5 is you've already had B5.
We've done that one. B7.
B7 is a miss.
Okay. What about J7?
J7 is a miss.
What about G5?
G5 is a miss.
I'm just looking at where I've got misses and trying to like fill the gaps.
That's fair.
Oh, look at this. Look at this cavalcade of suggestions. A7?
A7 is a miss.
A2?
Is a miss.
A9?
Is a miss.
I like we've got a load of A suggestions. Oh guys, this is going to turn into a very boring game in a minute if we don't get some more clues. Let's go for the 8th row is a little bit bare, so I'm going to go for F8.
Miss. Don't forget, you've still got 2 more of your yes/no questions.
All right. Well, what am I going to say? Is at this point, look, F9.
F9 is a miss.
All right. If there's any like amazing puzzle wizards in this chat who can think of a yes or no question that I can ask Hannah that will reveal who this killer is, then please give it to me and we will give it a go. Like, like that one where it's like you have to ask the doors which one is a liar. and that's what we want. We want that of this game. D1.
D1 is a miss.
Oh, let's try.
It's so hard because the last 5 that you've asked, one either to the left or the right of it has been a hit. So I'm just like, you're so close.
Maybe we need to like start like turning it into like 4x4 squares.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Let's go for H7.
H7 is a hit.
Oh, we did it, lads! We're back in the game. What's the sister called? Alice?
Yes.
Okay. Let's have a clue about Alice.
Okay. Alice dated George Hart, so the ex-student, briefly in their first year at Oxford. They fell out of touch shortly after he was kicked out of uni.
Is he the assistant?
No, Clive's the assistant.
I was about to be like, he's a bit older than her. Like, why is she shacking up with that old cat man? So sorry, I interrupted because of my outrage. So Alice dated George.
Yeah. In their first year at Oxford, they fell out of touch shortly after he was kicked out of uni.
Oh, George is the one who got kicked out for druggy problems. I forgot all about him. Here's a good question. This is okay. We're gonna go for this for my yes or no question. Was the murderer ever a student of the professor's?
Yes.
Okay. So I guess that's not Clive. Could be George. Could be.
Well, teaching assistants are ex-students, aren't they?
Not always. Like, you get teaching assistant jobs online all the time.
That's true.
That's true. I'm going to roll Catman out. Maybe that's a mistake. I don't know now. Right, we've got one yes or no question left. So let's save it for when we're sure. Well, H10.
H10 is a hit.
Nice job, Jet. Yes. Okay.
Who would you like a clue about?
Who shall we go for? Let's have Alice or George, I reckon. We'll let everybody else decide. And while the chat's going to pop up, I'll have some of my drink, which I've been fretting about doing because I was like, oh no. But
I love that, like, the comments, it's like, we're on to you now, Clive.
yeah.
Great.
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, seems like people want a clue on George.
Okay.
So, we'll go to George.
Let's do it.
George was the top of his class before he was excluded. He claims that although he was a user, he never sold drugs. I don't know if that helped you.
No. But maybe it helped some Sherlock in the chat who's immediately like, I've got it now, and it's so much better than Lover's revenge theory.
It was how adamant you are and how much detail you gave to that story.
I'm disappointed, honestly, that you weren't just like, oh my god, you've done it.
Shortest video ever.
Yeah. Time to read. Right. Now we're back to the squares now. I reckon we're gonna have filled in all of these by the time. I'm trying to look where the hits are and think about your brain and like think about where you would put the hits based on the gaps.
Okay.
Let's go for F6.
F6 is a hit. You're in my brain.
I'm in the brain. I don't know how to make my brush size bigger on. Oh, there we go. Maybe I can actually. Oh, yes, I can actually see what I'm doing now. So, what did I say? F6. There we go. I'll show you all my paintboard at the end of this, and you'll be like, "Wow, she is having a really hard."
Amazing.
Okay, so I don't know. Let's have a clue. Let's have a clue about Clive, just because we haven't yet.
Okay.
And like Loloma thinks that we're on to. I don't know if that's right. It might be Ioma. It might be Loloma. It might be anything. But maybe we are on to Clive now. So
Okay. Clive has a very expensive book buying habit, which he subsidises by stealing property from staff and students at Oxford and selling it on.
oh, oh, is Clive you?
I don't steal people's stuff, but yes, I have a very expensive book buying habit.
Imagine stealing things to buy books.
Yeah. I'm laughing, but now I'm thinking about it.
Like you go into some student's room and they're like, "Oh yeah, brand new MacBook Air, I'll take him." And then you go over to the shop up road and you're like, "Oh, I've got this MacBook Air," and they're like, "Okay, I'll give you 300 quid." And then you go straight into Waterstones and you're just like,
I was thinking more like collector's editions, antique books, things like that. But yeah, I could also see myself do it. Your version is more realistic for me, I think.
yeah. Oh dear. Oh no. Well, maybe like he is the killer, and like Dr. Langdon had like some like signed first edition of Lolita or something, and he's like, "Give me that back!" And then like because that seems like the sort of thing that he would get upset over, and Langdon's like, "No, you can't possibly understand its power," and then he just killed it.
The power of Lolita. Is
A
that what you're
signed
trying to tell
first
me?
edition copy of Lolita.
That's not it.
That's- Oh
I can't
shit!
tell you how much that's
Yeah.
not it.
Okay, maybe Clive found out there was a book in the bust and was trying to smash it open, and the professor got in the way.
Yeah, maybe. But also
Okay,
no.
well,
No, that
okay,
didn't happen,
I was
no.
literally about to say, well, she's just outright knowed everything that I said, but Lynn got a maybe.
I didn't realise that was Lynn's idea. I thought that was you.
No, I can't take credit for that. Lynn threw that out there, and I ran with it. Ran with it like an ex-student with a bust. Professor Langdon's head. I don't know what. Who is the murderer here?
That's what you got to work out.
Oh, working it out is hard. Like we made jokes about how it was like easy at the beginning, and now I'm just like baffled by it. Like I am no pathology major.
I mean, you've still got like 20 clues to go.
Oh God, and we've got like 100 spaces left. All right, the four row is looking a bit barren, so I'm gonna go for
Okay.
I'm gonna go for H4.
Miss.
Fuck's sake. Okay. What about J4?
Miss.
Was it like a hot miss or a cold miss?
It's a hot miss.
Oh, okay. Can we go for like I4?
Miss.
Oh no! I'm going in the wrong direction. All right, J3.
Is a hit.
Oh, we did it! All right, we're keeping the hot miss cold miss thing. It narrows it
Okay.
down. I feel like it adds some intensity.
Oh, okay.
I think we've done F4, and I
Do you
realised
not
we've
want
got
your
a clue.
clue first?
No, I do. No, we haven't done F4. I just saw people. Okay, we'll do F4 and C10 after, and hopefully our ESPN is back up, and we're just gonna like hammer the clues now. So I think we've got a clue for everybody. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I want to know more about Alice.
Alice. So you want the second clue on Alice?
Yes.
Okay. Alice was hoping that Clive would leave Oxford soon so that she could take over as Professor Langdon's assistant. She wanted more access to his research.
Ooh. I hope that somebody writes like a really short fan fiction story about all of these characters and their misadventures.
Well, we know
And
you're writing the fan fiction about Langdon and James, so
yeah, like for real. Like, I forget the exact name of it now actually, but on Netflix there's a TV show and it's like the assassination of Giuliani Versace, and it's gorgeous. Like it looks this it's so stylish, which you can imagine if it's about Versace. But I feel like I've just taken heavy inspiration from that, and it's like just some like attractive young man who's like trying desperately to get in with someone more powerful and more genius than him, and it all goes wrong. So if you
I
haven't
see.
seen that show, you should. And I didn't spot any satanic stuff in it when I watched it, but that might have been because I was like entranced by how gorgeous everything was. So don't take my word
Which
for
really
it.
is
Honestly.
that's what Lucifer wants.
I'm gonna get myself like a little like cross so that the next time I'm on this live stream with you, which will be next week when we do a vampire quiz, I can like shield myself against satanic influences,
Can't wait.
aka Lime Phillip.
Hmm.
That's another good film, The Vivitch. You should see that. Everybody put that like that's what I'll do on YouTube. I'll do a live stream of The Vivitch, and we'll just have like a live react of it, where I just like every time Black Phillip appears, I go Black Phillip. Yeah. Please don't ever get me that bust as a gift.
I won't. I think you'd actually cry. You'd be like, no.
I think I'd feel my blood run cold, and my stomach would get that like heavy feeling that you get when you know that something terrible has happened, and I would be like, this is how our friendship ends then.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons you and I could never live together, because I don't want to throw it away, and you'd be like, well, it's not coming in my fucking house.
It can stay in your room with its face against the wall.
No, because I would have it like I'd have it like facing out of the window, so that as you walk past it on your way to work, you were just like, oh no. Because I'm a bitch, and I think that would be funny.
People in Stoke do that all the time, where they put like ornaments in the windows facing outwards onto the street, and I find it very lovely. Like everybody just dresses their windows for the benefit of the street. Lush. Right.
You're
anyway,
gonna pick some more squares.
We're going for C10 and F4.
F4 is a miss, but C10 is a hit.
Whoa! Nice job, team.
Who would you like a clue about?
F4 is a miss, and C10 is a hit. Hurrah! Who shall we have a clue about? Who is everyone the most eager to know about? Got delinquent George, who was top of his class somehow while being off his face. We've got Catman Clive, who's stealing books to feed his Lolita grabbing habits. And then we've got Alice, who wants to steal research, which is always an evil thing to be doing. I
didn't say steal, I said just access to.
Oh, please, we all know what that means. Okay, we've got who else we've got the brother, James, the lover of Langdon in my head canon.
You've got no more for James.
So really it's just
Alice, Clive, Grace, and George are your options.
Oh no, we're ruling Grace out. We know she wasn't the killer.
Okay.
We're not asking about Gracie.
You don't want to know more about her life?
Listen, she seems like an interesting dame, but like nothing's as interesting as killing is. So
fair enough.
Yeah. All right. So it's a draw between Alice and George for me. So, let's go for George.
George. Okay. Before George was kicked out, he left a message on Professor Langdon's answer phone asking for help with something at home, but the professor never got back to him.
Because they're all having love affairs with Langdon. Will you help me with something at home?
Because I know the context of that. Hearing you going at home, that's not the vibe I was going for at all.
I don't know, like, how many. I know Det has, but I don't know how many other people here have played Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. But there's literally a thing in that where the doctor is having an affair with his med student, and she literally like sends him an email that's like, "Oh, I'm really struggling with my biology homework. Will you please come and visit me at my apartment?" And he's like, "Okay, at 5, don't tell my wife." Like, rubbish.
Okay, at 5. Amazing.
He's a rotating door of love affairs. I love that. Brilliant. Okay, so he wanted help with something at home. The plot is thickening. Very good. Professor Gigolo has really tickled me. Professor Lava. Yeah.
Again, not the vibe I was going for when I wrote this. Like, I was being very careful. I was like, right, you've got to be specific about the language you use. Who knows what they're going to pick up that you didn't mean for them to pick up. I've played D&D. I know that you'll pick up things from anything. I did not realise that you'd be so love affair orientated, and I should have known better.
I'm a romantic.
You're a romantic. Okay.
Right. Okay. Let's hit some more things. We got I9.
I9 is a miss.
I9. Big black mark.
It was a hot miss, though. It was a hot miss.
Okay, so let's go for I10.
Miss. Colder.
Oh, H9.
Miss. Even colder.
J9.
It's a hit.
Hey, we did it, team. We got there together.
You did that all on your own.
Yeah, when you all go to bed later and you close your eyes to sleep, you'll just hear me being like, I9. F4. Dear me. Okay, so let's go for Alice this time because she was the runner-up from before.
Okay. Alice's fingerprints were found on the murder weapon, the veiled lady bust. But she claims she borrowed it for a project. When asked about it, Clive Woodward confirmed that she'd asked him and Professor Langdon if it was okay to take it.
Am I allowed to interview Alice? Is this a thing?
Yeah, you've got one question left.
I don't know if we should save it. Love is a good motive for murder.
Okay, but I can tell you now, no one killed anyone for love in this.
Okay. Look at this Spoilosaurus. She won't even let a girl dream.
No, because I know what you're like. You're going to be like, oh, well, maybe this person was in love with him, or maybe this person was. No one. Not even his wife loved him. Respected, maybe, did not love him.
Why would you make somebody so loveless?
Oh, he deserved it.
He deserved it. There we go. We got an accidental clue. What have we discovered? Poor professor. Yeah, I know. Unless he was like a creepazoid and what's her name? He killed himself by smashing his head in with a veiled lady. Like,
he threw the veiled lady up into the air and it
I love that as a possibility. He was just like, I'm so loveless, and it just smashes his face against the veiled bust. Like,
I hate all these people in my life. I'm going to make sure all of them get done for murder by throwing it into the air, landing it on my own head, killing myself, making it look like murder, and then all of them will go to jail.
Maybe he wanted to kiss, and he went in for the veiled bust.
He was like,
Poor arthritic old man hands couldn't contain the enormous bust, and it just felt, yes, the real murderer is gravity. There you go.
Can we just take a moment that on a live stream you just said his hands couldn't contain the bust?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much.
So, like, please don't apologize, Pixie. I think actually, like, we've just reached the most lucid conclusion we got to all night, aside from my, like, James was his secret lover and then went bit and, like, killed somebody. So, um, okay, so we've got Alice's fingerprints on the murder weapon, but
Yeah.
Clive is corroborating that she asked to borrow it, and you said he deserved it. So now I feel like maybe Alice took the bust back and was like, "Yo, dog, here is your bust that I borrowed," and he was like, "I will accept it if you give me a kiss," and she was like, "You loveless old man," and she just like blasted him.
So your suggestion is that he sexually assaulted a student out of nowhere,
yeah.
and then she was like, "Not having that."
Well, that's what I can think of that you would deserve to be murdered for. Like,
Okay, maybe deserved is a bit harsh.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we're circling it here. I feel
He probably didn't deserve to be murdered. He's just not a very nice man.
Okay.
But in fiction, those are usually synonymous. So.
I guess. Sorry, excuse me. Okay. Okay. Why did Alice need it? Who borrows a bust? That is a fair cue.
That is a fair cue.
Unfortunately, it's not a yes/no cue.
It is not.
So, all right. Everybody wants to know more about this bust. So let's try and get another clue, and then we will ask for Alice's. Is it her final one?
You got 2 more for Alice.
2 more for Alice. Let's try and work Alice out, shall we? And then see what's going on there. So let's throw up some more things to hit. Can I go for D7?
You can, and it's a hit.
Oh yes, it's because it was a gap, you see, and I was like, she's probably got it there.
So you want another Alice clue?
Yes, please, another Alice.
Okay. Alice had been struggling to finish the book she was writing and had asked Professor Langdon for some feedback. However, he returned it to her covered in red pen and lots of negativity. She's refused to show it to anyone since.
That's not a reason to kill somebody.
As fellow ex-writers workshopping people at Masters, we know that's true. That wasn't a real sentence, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, having had feedback
We're
before.
both retired from writing and therefore can conclude.
I really hope I'm not retired from writing. I've spent all day writing.
Yeah, well done. I spend all day in my crappy job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to hire you. I was trying to think the other day. I was like, is there anything that like I could do to try and get you as like part of the business? But it's not. I couldn't pay your rent with it, and that made me sad.
Oh, I wish.
One day. One day.
Should be related to Christianity and Latin and Greek history then, right? Priscilla's got her investigative cap on. I don't know anything about the Veiled Lady.
I've just seen Priscilla's comment. I don't know. Some people really can't handle feedback.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
popped up for me too.
So true.
It's true.
Okay. Where do you want to go next?
Finishing my neck. Alice is weak. Let's go. I'm sure somebody suggested one. B10
Is a miss.
Is it a cold one?
Cold miss, yeah.
Cold like super cold or cold like it's a bit nippy?
A bit nippy.
A bit nippy. Let's go for B8.
Is the hit.
Oh, I sussed it out from the bit nippy.
Okay, would you like someone else, or do you want Alice as well?
Let's go for Alice's last one. Let's riddle her out.
Riddle her out. Alice submitted an essay on behalf of James, and both she and James would have been excluded if Professor Langdon had ever found out.
But he did find out. He straight up accused James of cheating.
He accused James of cheating.
But he knew it was from his sister.
Mm-hmm.
How many squares are left? Oh, I don't know. 100.
Quite a few.
There's quite a few, unfortunately, gang. I feel like we're getting there slowly, though. We've got a system now. Fingers crossed.
You've got 8 clues left that aren't related to Grace.
Okay. I don't feel any closer to working it out based on the clues. Like none of these seem like a reason to cave somebody's skull in. So maybe it is Clive, the one that I suspected the least, because someone being a loner with an animal like somehow relates to me.
I thought you suspected Grace the least, that's why you'd written her off.
I did suspect Grace the least because she seemed like the most obvious suspect, and I was like, that's not how Hannah plays these games. So I like method it. Right, let's go for B2.
B2 is a hit.
Yeah, it was a gap. Okay, let's go for Clive.
Okay. Clive's fingerprints were found on the murder weapon, but he claims he only moved the bust in an attempt to find something smaller that he could steal and sell.
What was that last bit?
Clive claims that he only moved the bust in an attempt to find something smaller that he could steal and then sell.
Klepto Clive? I feel like even when I've got all the clues, I'm not going to be like any closer to working it out. So far, we've got Alice and Clive who like have their fingerprints on the clue. Sounds like Alice has a lot of reasons to make Langdon disappear, not having to deal with that feedback, not risking being found out about the work she gave her brother, raised his eyebrows. Maybe, but
yeah,
she
I
also
love
like. This feels like a lot. Working out murders is hard. All right, let's go for E2.
E2 is a hit.
Yes. Okay.
So who would you like, Clive or George?
Who shall we go for, Clive or George? What shall we have? Who shall we pry into?
It's hard because obviously we're on a slight delay. So
yeah.
we know that we've asked the question, and then I just sit here and stare at the chat and wait for someone to say something.
Yeah, I always try and like fill the gap with just sound. Clive.
Yeah,
there we go. Everyone
like,
wants Clive.
Too easily distracted.
Let's do Clive.
Okay. Clive once made a drunken pass at Grace Langdon at a Christmas party. Grace slapped him across the face, and they've stayed out of each other's way ever since.
Wow, okay. Sounds like someone should have murdered Clive. He's like a little klepto, just the people's personal space or wives.
Mm-hmm. Personal space or wives.
The scandal. Let's throw some things at me so I don't have to keep thinking about it. H1
is a hit.
My luck's coming good. We'll do Clive
Another
again.
Clive or George? Clive again?
Clive, yeah.
Okay. Clive recently discovered that he's being sandbagged by Professor Langdon with references so bad no one. With references so bad no one would hire him. So basically, if you sandbag someone, you make it impossible for them to get a job somewhere else.
Okay. I'm starting to feel like Clive's a killer. Klepto Clive the killer.
Klepto Kai.
Seems like a lot of trouble to get into for some fancy books.
Oh, the fancy books are just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. He just buys things for his cat all the time. He's just like, here you are, nameless baby. I've brought you another cat treat. It's made from the skin of my employer.
That got weird real quick.
I'm weird. I feel weird I'm weird under pressure. A4.
A4 is a hit, but it's a warm hit.
What does that mean? Oh, so there's another one nearby. How's that? Have we done all of the Clive ones?
No, you've got one more.
Let's finish Clive off then.
Finish him.
Finish him. So you can make moves on Grace and steal property but can't name his cat. Clive needs to rethink his priorities. Blackballed sounds like just as bad as sandbagging. Like both of them sound like something that you don't want to happen to you.
No. No one wants to be blackballed or sandbagged.
They sound like porno categories. Like
I'm trying to think what sandbagging would be. Like, what even is that?
I don't know, but I'm just like seeing it on the list. Oh.
Oh, that's too funny. My face hurts.
Oh dear.
Right, please pick another square. For the love of God.
Okay, let's try. So A4 was warm. I'm gonna go for A5.
Yeah. Hit.
Yeah.
You want the last one for Clive, or do you want George?
Was that not the last one? The sandbagging?
Nope, you got one more. No, you got one more.
Okay, let's find out what else. Let's put the nail in Klepto Clive the Killer's coffin.
Okay. Clive claims he never confronted Professor Langdon over the situation because Professor Langdon had enough reasons to fire Clive as it was. He didn't want to risk losing what he already had.
Oh. Sorry, I'm just going to silence my phone. I didn't think it would be a problem because I'm not very popular, but it's really... it's all going on.
Problem. Yeah.
Right. So Clive was like, I'm not going to ask him about it because he's got enough reasons to fire me. But surely, like, hello, I've heard you're trying to stop me from getting a job elsewhere is like not a reason to fire someone that you clearly want to keep because you're having an emotional affair with them and like to look at them in the morning and they come in with their cat fur on their jacket and they're all like, hello, Professor Langdon. And you're just like, oh, Clive. You're the only person who ever loved me.
Oh, Clive.
Oh, Clive. Klepto Clive. I've started leaving things around for you to
Klepto
steal
Clive.
because I want you to do well. I like the thought of like
I want you to do well.
Breath being like, you can kill me, Clive, but you can never kill our love. And then he's just like, ah!
Sorry, what noise does he make?
Right, so I hope everybody's got their thinking hats on because I feel frazzled by all of this information. So like everybody else needs to start like theorizing now because we've only got one more yes or no left and we need to work out the who and the why. So I'm starting to strongly suspect Clive, but I don't know if this is a Hannah O'Donnell special. And actually, she's like set me up this way. And look at them eyebrows, sinister eyebrows of truth. So
It's just really funny because like it's not a case of like, okay, well let's think about what I've been given and go, okay, well realistically it's this person or this person. You've gone, no, Hannah doesn't play fair.
It's this truth. I just feel like you're Trixie. Anybody with
I'm
a velvet coat bust is Trixie. There you go, guys. Life advice from me. Go and put that in your Twitter bios. Anybody with a velvet goat bust is Trixie. Live by it, die by it. You won't be tricked. Not easily.
No more
anyway.
Trixie people for you.
No more Trixie people in your lives. On your Bumble profile, do you own a goat bust? YM. And if they say why, cut them off.
Yeah. Dead to me.
There we go. Dead to me. Right. Okay. I've got a few spaces here, so I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for E5.
Is a warm miss.
A warm miss. Okay. E4.
E4 is a hit.
We did it. Okay, so we've only really got George left now, haven't we?
Yeah.
Let's go for him then. What about Georgie?
So, George was supposed to be working at the time of the murder, but he claims he was stuck in traffic and got there an hour late.
Somebody's asked what Lynn's asking what the last clue was, the one about Clive, if you wouldn't mind repeating it.
Okay. No, it's not a problem. Clive claims he never confronted Professor Langdon over the situation, as Professor Langdon had enough reasons to fire Clive already. He didn't want to risk losing what he already had.
Also, you're being asked if you have the one ring of power.
No, I don't wear rings.
She gives them to hobbits to throw in a volcano.
Yeah, I'm basically Gandalf. I'm reading that because the Tolkien along's currently on, so I'm listening to Lord of the Rings for an hour before I go to bed every day.
Is it Tolkien?
That's how I say it, Tolkien.
I've been saying it wrong my whole life.
How do you say it?
Tolkien.
Yeah, maybe you're saying it right though. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. I've just always said Tolkien.
All right, this is like I've gone into darkness now because my cat is in the way of the light. I'm Clive. This is my cat. So he does this. He only gives me like an hour of social time, and then he's like, "Okay, that's enough for you."
Too much. Too much.
Okay, right. We need to get the rest of George's clues, and then we'll get Hannah to read them all out for us, and then we will theorize who's the who and what's the what. So, and the why is the why. How close is George's work from the school? So there we go. Like somebody else says Tolkien, somebody else is wrong.
It's probably me that's wrong.
I think it's because I've never heard somebody say it. I've only ever seen it on the book. So I've just read it the way that it was, even as a child. So
even as a child.
Even as a
Especially
child.
as a child.
Especially as a child. This is like Tolkien is my Hermie one. Like
I was a Hermie one. I genuinely said Hermie one, and my dad never corrected me. My mum corrected me because like my dad read those books to me as a kid, and then when I would read them, it didn't matter that he'd said Hermione the entire time. When I read them, I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, Hermie one," and Mum was like, "No, Hermione," and my dad was like, "She's trying."
That's very sweet. Like I haven't read Harry Potter, so I never made this mistake. But I lived with people who all read Harry Potter, and there was definitely a division between the Hermie ones and the Hermiones.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing is that like, that's why she invented that Crumb character, so that Hermione could teach him how to say Hermione, so that she could tell her audience, "No, this is how you say the name."
She'll always be Hermione in our hearts.
The Hermione one and only.
Very good.
Thank you.
Right. Let's work. Let's work.
Right, you've got 2 more clues to find.
2 clues to find.
And that's only because you've dismissed Grace's clues.
We have. We know she's not the killer, so there's no point. Please, Corvo, just behave for once. Otherwise, I'll take your name away. Start spending all your food money on books.
Do you not do that already?
No, I don't at all. He's like number 1 all the time, even if it puts me in trouble.
Number 1 baby.
Number 1 baby. So let's go for C6.
C6. It's a miss.
Okay.
But it's a hot miss.
Hot miss.
Is it a particular flavour?
Yeah.
It's spicy.
D5.
D5 is a miss.
Oh, I've gone in the wrong direction. C5.
It's also a miss.
Oh, for fuck's sake. B6.
B6?
Yeah.
Is a hit. That's why I was laughing, because you're literally like circling like around it. And I was like,
it's because like I remembered you saying there's only one that's like together.
Yeah.
Also, like to definitively solve this, Lynn says that Google says it's Tolkien, but there's at least 3 of us who have always said it Tolkien. So
that's fair enough.
There we go. Like we may be in the majority, but we are still wrong. Yeah, literally. Like Pixie said, I'm still going to keep saying it wrong. He's dead. What's he going to do about it?
That's so brutal. I love that.
Yeah, like
that's hilarious.
Come at me, Tolkien.
See, this is why I kind of want to have like a writer's name, so like write under like a pseudonym, because I really wanted it to be like Rowan Alexander. I was like, because people know how to spell those. Whereas O'Donnell, I've seen it spelled in so many different ways, and people have spelt Hannah with 1 N or no H at the end or whatever, and I'm just like, it's clearly too complicated. Like, let's make it easier.
No, I'm with you completely. Okay. That's what Alice thought about Langdon as well. He's dead. What's he going to do about my research now? I love that.
I love that. Okay, so you want another George?
We do.
Okay. George is convinced Alice turned him in to Professor Langdon, and he's never forgiven her.
It sounds like these people have plenty of reasons to kill each other and not Langdon.
Yeah.
Okay, Jet says that your name should be Sally Lettuce.
That's how I wrote it.
Sally Lettuce.
Sally Lettuce. I don't think so. I don't think Sally Lettuce suits me, to be honest.
I'm
more of a cabbage.
A cabbage?
But not a lettuce. A cabbage.
Cabbage. A sprout. Well, what kind of cabbage?
No, just cabbage.
Cabbage. There's like an accent over the
cabbage. Yeah. Did you ever watch Keeping Up Appearances? The old BBC show. Yeah,
no.
It's spelled bucket. So everyone would be like, Mrs. Bucket, and she'd be like, bouquet. I'd be like that. I'd be like, no, it's not cabbage, it's cabbage.
I went to school with a girl whose surname was Benoit, which I think to like people who live close enough to France think that that's like Benoit. But
that's how I call it, yeah.
A teacher literally said Benoit, and she was like, no, it's Benoit. And we were all like, you could have gone for the good version there, girl, but okay. Yeah.
There was a student that I used to teach who her name was spelt Sean, but her mum didn't know how to pronounce Sean. She just saw it in a book and thought it was pretty. So she was called Cyan.
Oh no!
But obviously you spelt it Sean. So we'd be like, hey Sean, and she'd be like, it's Cyan. And I'd be like, no, it isn't.
It's wrong. That's what that is. It's upsetting.
Yeah, bless her. And it wasn't even her fault. It's because her mum had that problem as opposed to because of her. She could read. She just only ever seen it on paper before. She didn't know.
She didn't know. Oh, bless her, I guess. Nice try.
Yeah. Points for trying.
Points for trying.
Right, you've
Maybe,
got one more to find.
okay, we've got some theories. Maybe killing Langdon was a mistake. Maybe his back was turned and the killer thought he was someone else. Or he, like, and then said, Victoria said he wasn't even loved enough to be murdered. Yeah.
I like that.
And then, like, but people have got loads of questions, like, was the bus broken? How far away is George's school from his workplace? Like, are we allowed to know any of these things, or is it just we've got to stick to?
Well, did you want to use one as a yes/no question?
No.
That's the question.
We have to save it. We have to save it. Okay, so have we got one more George clue?
You have.
Okay. Let's try and find this last clue, and then we'll try and formulate some opinions. So I'm gonna go for I8.
I8 is a warm miss.
Oh no. Let's go for J8.
Is a colder miss.
Oh, I've gone the wrong direction. H8
is another colder miss.
For fuck's sake. I7
is a hit.
Yeah. Right, we've got our last clue.
Your last George clue. So,
Our last George clue.
George regrets never leaving Oxford. Whenever he saw Professor Langdon, he was filled with anger. He just wanted someone to believe him, but he's not sure why he stayed.
Mad at the victim.
So, who do you think it was, and why do you think they did it?
Okay, so could we have the clues for our suspects? All five of them. Would you mind reading them out for, like, if you want to start off with James and then go through however you like, and then hopefully by the end of that, if not me, because I'm not putting a lot of hope in that, but some brain box in the chat will have an idea of the who, the why.
Someone in the chat has already pegged it. I just didn't say anything.
Whoa! One of you is right. One of you's got it.
Who it is.
I wonder who it is.
So, Alice dated George briefly in their first year at Oxford. They fell out of touch shortly after he was kicked out of uni. James, although not having a proper job, has £2,000 deposited into his bank account every week. He's also paid for a one-way ticket to Guadeloupe. Clive has a very expensive book-buying habit, which he subsidises by stealing property from staff and students at Oxford and selling it on. Grace and her husband have no children, no mutual interests, and sleep in separate rooms. Grace claims it has been like that for years and it wasn't a problem. George was the top of his class before he was excluded. He claims that, although he was a user, he never sold drugs. Alice was hoping Clive Woodward would leave Oxford soon so she could take over as Professor Langdon's assistant. She wanted more access to his research. When James was 15, he was arrested for possession. He was never formally charged, but he's been the black sheep of the family ever since. Clive's fingerprints were found on the murder weapon, but he claims he only moved the bust in an attempt to find something smaller that he could steal and sell. Before George was kicked out, he left a message on Professor Langdon's answer phone asking for help for something at home, but the professor never called him back. Alice's fingerprints were also found on the murder weapon of the veiled lady bust, but she claims she borrowed it for a project. When asked about it, Clive Woodward confirmed that she had asked him and Professor Langdon if it was okay to borrow it. James has no alibi for the time of the murder. He should have been at lectures, but the CCTV proves he wasn't there. Clive also made a drunken pass at Grace Langdon at a Christmas party. Grace slapped him across the face. They've stayed out of each other's way ever since. George was supposed to be working at the time of the murder, but he claims he was stuck in traffic and got there an hour late. Alice has been struggling to finish a book that she was writing, and she asked Professor Langdon for some feedback. However, he returned it to her covered in red pen and negativity. She's refused to show it to anyone else since. James was seen having an argument with Professor Langdon the day before he died. James claimed it was over a misunderstanding about the late assignments, and that Professor Langdon took it far more personally than he did. Clive recently discovered that he was being sandbagged by the professor, with references so bad no one wanted to hire him. George is convinced that Alice is the reason that Professor Langdon that Alice turned him into Professor Langdon, and he's never forgiven her. Alice submitted an essay on behalf of James, and both she and James would have been excluded if Professor Langdon had found out. Professor Langdon had reported James of cheating after he submitted his work written by his sister, but James claims this isn't true and that he never submitted any work that wasn't his own. Clive claims he never confronted Professor Langdon about the situation, as Professor Langdon had enough reasons to fire Clive as it was. Already, he didn't want to risk what he already had. And then the last one is, George regrets never leaving Oxford. When he saw Professor Langdon, he was filled with anger. He just wanted someone to believe him. He's not sure why he stayed.
Oh my god. Lots of theories kicking about. I like the George did it and tried to frame Alice. He knew she had borrowed the bust. Sort of like leaning a bit towards the framing. I do need to rescue something from my cat very quickly, so I'm gonna like 2 seconds while you.
Okay, I'm gonna look at the comments, see what people have said.
Yeah.
So George did it and tried to frame Alice. He knew she borrowed the bust. Possibility. What was the clue right before his last one? Had to step out for a sec. Do you mean George or Clive? Can you let me know and I'll read that out now again? It's always the guy who's an hour late for work. Chelsea's theory must be right. Okay, wait. What if George was angry with Alice that he framed James for the drug possession thing, and now he's trying to frame Alice while at the same time getting rid of the person who's kicked him out? Ooh, that is a complicated, twisty plot. I should have written that one. That's much better than the one I wrote. What are we thinking, guys? Okay, cool. I reread them all. I did reread them all. At the end, when we finally worked out who it is, I am going to read Grace's storyline. You don't get a choice in that. I worked hard on this, and I want you to know what Grace is about. So just so you know. So what you're thinking, what you're thinking. It's because it's on the delay, so I'm trying to see if you've commented anything else since. I might fill up the time by reading what about Grace. Leave a comment if you want to know about Grace. I know that Sian doesn't, because Sian doesn't care. But Grace is the only person I feel sympathy for here. Yes. Okay, you want Grace's storyline as well? It really only took 2 people, so I will read you Grace's storyline as well. Okay. So the clues that you didn't find for Grace were: Grace Langdon was born Jenny Fryer, but she changed her name after her and her brother escaped abusive parents. Grace lost all faith in her husband after he did nothing when Clive sexually assaulted her. Both Professor Langdon and Clive claimed it was a drunken mistake, but Grace never forgave either of them. Grace has been financially supporting James for a while in the hope that he would get some space from his domineering sister. Grace runs a charity for male victims of domestic abuse. She has allowed her reputation to grow over time because it draws attention away from the men she's helping. No one except Professor Langdon ever knew anything about it. So, has that changed your opinion? What do you think of Grace? Sian was much better at like filling the space, to be honest. Let's stop sharing. We don't need to see that anymore. You can just look at me. No? She seems nice. Yeah, I wanted Grace to be like the most sympathetic character, and Sian just completely wrote her off.
I didn't feel like she was a bad person. I just didn't feel like she was a killer.
But there was information in there that might have helped you.
Well, is that what were you giving it to the chat?
I was giving it to the chat. The chat were giving it back, to be fair. They love Grace too.
Good.
Yeah,
so what was
Grace is the
giving
best.
Grace's clues out?
Oh, did you not hear them? I wasn't sure if you could hear. I'll read them again.
No, I was I was sorting the cat.
What? Sorting the cat. Okay. Okay. So, Grace Langdon was born Jenny Fryer, but changed her name after her and her brother escaped abusive parents. Grace lost all faith in her husband after he did nothing when Clive sexually assaulted her. Both Professor Langdon and Clive claimed it was a drunken mistake, but Grace never forgave either of them. Grace has been financially supporting James Montgomery for a while in the hope he would get some space from his domineering sister. Grace runs a charity for male victims of domestic abuse. She has allowed her reputation to grow over time because it draws attention away from the men she's helping. No one, except Professor Langdon, knew anything about it.
She's a babe.
Mm-hmm.
And Ob's not a killer.
Ob's not a killer.
Unless this means that James did it for love.
He really didn't, but I love that.
Well, okay, guys. We knew that he was having a love affair with one Langdon. We just got the Langdon wrong. I'm going to take this as a win.
They're not sleeping together. She's financially supporting him, but that is it.
Okay,
who do you
so
think
what?
It is?
I don't know. I feel like there's been some really, really good guesses, and I definitely like the idea of it being like a framing or an accident rather than like a deliberate thing. Like that's like I'm killing you for my reasons. It's like I'm killing you for like somebody else, or because this is part of a bigger thing.
There was one guess that I was like, that's so clever. I didn't write something that good. So that was it. Priscilla wrote, okay, wait. What if George is angry with Alice? So he framed James for the drug possession, and now he's trying to frame Alice while at the same time getting rid of the person who kicked him out. And that is a fantastic storyline. But that's not what I wrote.
Oh no, Priscilla. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's good. That is cool to know. I know. I want
Same.
to me like here's Corvo. This is my kitten. He's naughty. He's letting me know that my time's nearly up.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I too want a sugar mommy who gives me $2 grand a week. $2 a week and doesn't miss it. Like holy shit. Like and has the money to do charity work. Like mommy's got bank. So I don't know. Like put your best theory in, and whichever one we think is the closest, that's what we'll go for. And if it's not right, then Hannah will just tell us.
I will. Yeah, you've got one question left. That's a really good point. Yeah, you've still got one left.
Oh yeah. Oh fucking hell. All right. Okay. All right.
Still on you, Sean. I know you're trying to palm it off, but it's still on you.
I'm trying to make it a group activity. Like, in fairness, like everybody's been outstanding. Like, it's been so lovely to hang out with everybody. So, like, thank you everybody for participating. But just hang on in there a little longer, help me out a little more. So,
it's alright. They're used to these videos dragging. It's fine.
Okay. I'm trying to think of like a clever way to eliminate at least like 2 people.
Well, you know it's not Grace. So who do you think is most likely? Who has the motive that you think is most realistic? That you're like, I can see that.
I don't know. I don't feel like James has any real motivation to do it until we read Grace's things, and then I was like, oh, maybe he feels like he wants to like help her in some way. But then, like, why would you shaft somebody who's like helping you out? Because everybody would look at her as the killer, right? I didn't.
But he's already got a ticket out. So does he need to kill someone if he's already on the way out?
Exactly. I didn't like to answer Laloma's question. I didn't think that Clive was a former student of Langdon, but Hannah like sort of suggested that he was. So
I did suggest it, but he's not. Like, you're right. I
okay,
was just trying to like sow the
all right.
seed, but now I'm trying to like help you narrow it down.
Okay, our suspects
Oh, look at your baby.
he's being naughty. Our
He's so
suspects
cute.
are James, Alice, and George.
Mm-hmm.
So if we were like, is the suspect a boy, that would narrow it down to 2.
Is the suspect a boy?
No, I'm
Is
not
that your last
saying
question?
that. No.
Okay.
It was a thinking about it. I don't know. I don't know a clever way to. His useful red pencil feedback. I love that. Corvo.
It's because Corvo's like, just come up with an answer. He's worked it out. He knows who it is.
He knows. He's been listening this whole time. He's getting anxious about it now. We'll just narrow it down to the boys then, shall we? So, like, is the killer Alice?
Yes.
Oh shit! That's not what I expected at all. Fucking hell! Right, we've got our killer, guys. So now we need to work out the why.
Why? The why?
The why. So
why?
we know she's smart. We know she's domineering. We know she wants his research and she wants Clive's job. So maybe she was trying to kill Clive, but then got Langdon instead. But I can't imagine that Clive looks like an old man from behind. Like, or maybe her and Clive teamed up to get rid of him so that he could be free to get other jobs and she would be free to get access to his research, like the
Not quite.
Not quite. Oh, I don't know.
Priscilla's really proud of herself for absolutely nailing it.
Yeah, well done. I love that. All right, we've got a killer, but why? Why?
Why?
Why? She was so fucking pissed off about the red pen that she was like, the only thing that will make you humble is death. Like,
I mean, the red pen was a factor, but not in the way that you're thinking. I also love just how close Corvo's face is to the camera. That's so cute.
Hi.
Would you like me to tell you, or do you want to work it out?
What do we think, guys? Do we want to work it out, or shall she put us out of our misery?
Let's see what he does.
Alice is an earth sign for sure.
Yeah. For sure.
Oh, you're a star now. You're an internet sensation.
He's so pretty.
You can't really see him.
No, it was really funny earlier when he was sat on your lap because you could only see him when he looked at the camera because otherwise he's perfectly like blends in.
I know.
Special baby.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm making that noise. He can't hear me. I just get excited when I see a cat. Is the weapon of choice a clue? Yeah, kinda.
The bust. The veiled lady. I
mean, that in itself was the clue. That it's called the veiled lady.
Oh, okay. I didn't pick up on that.
No, that's fair enough. It was very subtle.
Yeah, I see all your clever webs now. Maybe did Alice think that the professor was the one giving James money?
She didn't know that James was getting the money. She thought that she was funding James. Because she was trying to take care of him because their parents kind of just don't care anymore. Black sheep.
I don't know.
There is a bit of a clue with who she interacted outside of Professor Langdon.
Clive.
And
George.
her ex-boyfriend, who was top of the class.
Did she want to avenge him? No. She put the drugs on him, and he was like, bitch, what the fuck? And then she was the top of the class then, and then she was like, I don't know what happened after that. He was like, believe in me, Langdon Daddy. And he was like, okay, I'll believe in you, dude. And I will avenge you against your awful ex-girlfriend. And then she was like,
sorry, what noise did she make?
I don't know why all my murder sounds are so comical. Right,
I love it though.
Okay, all right, she got rid of George to get to the top. Alice thought the prof was the one with Jay's buddy. There you go. She got rid of. So why did she kill Langdon?
So there was an answer phone message that Langdon never got to, but where she was working with Langdon more, she'd have come across it because he never responded to it. So she then found out that George was going to tell him. So if George was already going to let him know about that he shouldn't have been kicked out and she shouldn't have been top of the class, he also would have put together the two and two together about the fact that she had submitted James's essay. So she had too much to lose. And too much to gain. Like you said, she wanted his research. She wanted the money from Clive. Like she wanted it all, and she was willing to kill for it.
She overshot her shot. She overshoot the shot.
She did, and she got murdery about it.
Imagine.
Imagine.
Well done, Hannah. Yeah. That's very exciting.
I mean, congratulations to everyone that worked it
out. Well done, everybody.
I really want to see if I can find the comment, because Priscilla nailed it straight away. It was really, really early on. I want to see if I can find it. But yeah, that was absolutely wicked, guys. Thank you very much.
Greedy goblin comeuppance.
Oh wait, Clive is me. No, he's not.
Yeah, no, that was a ton of fun, and I know it wasn't quite what you guys were expecting, and that Tish was supposed to be here as well. And obviously, we hope that she gets well soon. And
yeah, I hope she gets better soon.
But hopefully you still had a great time, and it was lovely to meet all of you. And if you didn't care that I'm awkward under pressure, then we're doing a vampire quiz next week, aren't we? Who's taking part in that one?
Let's check, because I have the list. I know it's you. I think Tish is joining us, and I think Olivia might be joining us as well, and potentially Becca as well.
That'd be exciting. So you'll have all of your hosts plus 2 additional guests.
Indeed, there'll be loads of us, is the plan.
And you can all help me win, because I'm your favourite now. And you'll be like, oh my God, Sean's so useless by herself. We have to help. And you can give me all the answers in the chat.
No one thinks you're useless at all. Yeah, so it'll be yourself, Olivia, Tish, and Becca from Sanctorum Books.
How exciting. Oh, thank you. I've been delightful. What a compliment.
You have been delightful. Everyone loves you. Right, now everyone needs to go to Twitter, that you need to follow Sean, and then you need to harass her on a regular basis until she sets up a YouTube channel. Please. Yeah.
I won't murder any of my competitors with a bust, and I love doing my dramatization of people, even though Hannah seemed to just openly cringe every time.
Do you know what it was? It's because I couldn't see it, so I'm just hearing it, and I've just got obviously the PowerPoint in front of me, and all I'm hearing in my ears is it's like, oh, I don't know what's going on, and I didn't like it in there, you know.
I didn't like it in there.
Didn't like it in there.
Whitney thinks you're adorable. She doesn't think you're a naughty boy. She thinks you're lovely.
It's because she's never met him.
Yeah, I know. He's a bad boy. He is a naughty cat.
There you go. Lynn agrees with me.
Well, maybe not. I don't read enough.
I don't think you've watched BookTube enough. If you think that it's to do with reading, you are sorely mistaken. I am such a
was your
slow reader.
mistake. Oh, never mind.
Excellent. Right. Right, we'll let you guys go, and I hope you have a lovely evening. Thank you again for joining us. And I believe, actually, I can tell you because I've got it right in front of me. It's
well.
Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin that's joining me on Saturday, and we're very excited about it.
There you go. All right. Thank you so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.